This video will walk you through the basics of starting to use Animoto. First, you can get there by using the link on Google Classroom, or you can just Google search Animoto. I recommend going straight to the login page. You've been sent the email address for your group and the password. When you first log in, you'll probably get a screen like this. You don't want to upgrade, you want to go straight to Create. They'll give you a variety of themes or styles to choose from. Please make sure when you preview that everything that you see in the transitions will match what you want to convey in your video. Sometimes you'll find that there are ones that might have nice lighting, but then you realize there's a series of candles in the back that you associate with Hanukkah, and your video isn't about Hanukkah. So do watch that carefully to make sure that it's matching what you want to convey. You can preview the one that you want to do. Make sure it doesn't say premium because that requires an upgrade. And then click on Create Video. Once you're in, you can always go back and change the style. You don't need to worry about adding a logo because you're not a business. To add pictures and videos, you will use this option right here, and you'll be using the upload feature. But first you'll need to have some pictures to upload. So let's pretend I'm doing phobias. If I did a photo search for phobias, I might come across one like this. If you notice, in behind the word, or actually on top of the word phobia, you've got a watermark for Shutterstock. That's showing you that Shutterstock does not want you to use their photo unless you've paid them for it. Please make sure you do not use any photos with watermarks on them. Instead, I might choose a photo like this one right here. Perhaps it's what I'm looking for. So I'm going to right click on it. On a Chromebook, you do that by holding down on Alt and tapping the mouse pad. Then I'm going to save my image. I'm going to put it into my downloads right here. And for ease of finding it in my super large downloads file, I'm just going to give it that name there. Then I go back and I want to complete my upload. So I choose to upload from my computer, and in my downloads, I'm going to go right to the bottom and find that. You'll notice that I got a little triangle here. That's because the image is too small and may look blurry in my video. Because it's so small, its resolution is low. I need a picture with a higher resolution, so I might actually need to go back and do a different photo search. When you are doing that photo search, I do also want to point out, saving the image, that when I did this, down here, you will see that it was a JPEG image. So you need to make sure that the file you're choosing ends in the coding that the program will recognize as a photo. It will recognize JPEG and PNG. I don't believe it will recognize HTML or GIF. So watch that. Sometimes you can find the same photo with several different file formats. You want to choose the type that it will recognize as a picture. Once I've got my pictures in, I can also add in text slides. You'll see that this has 2 lines. No photo will be on the slide. 40 characters for the top one with a larger font size. 50 characters for the smaller one. So I'll just type in a sample here so you can see what size it will appear. The number of characters will count down here on the right so you see how many characters you have left. When you're done, don't hit X because that will just close it. Hit the save so it will remember it. There's a few other features I want to make sure you're aware of. Right here, you can simply drag your slides around to put them in a different order. You can also click on it, and then you can go to Spotlight and put a yellow border around it so that the timing for the video will allow it to hover on this slide for a little bit longer, giving it emphasis or a spotlight. If you want to change your song, you can go up here and you can search the full library of their copyright-free material. You can even choose different filters here. And when you found one that you want, then you can just select the song over here. I'm just going to keep mine for right now, so I'll hit X. Up here, you'll see that the total amount of time I have used with the slides that I have would be 13 seconds. I have a maximum of 4 minutes and 38 seconds, which has been determined by the length of the song that I've chosen. Choosing a different song may give me only 2 minutes to work with, and you may need a little bit longer than that. The gear right here, allows you to trim your song. If it happens to have a really boring beginning, for example, you can cut that off and start at the interesting part. The image pacing, you probably want to keep that where that is. If you happen to have very short sentences for each slide, then you may consider moving it so it's one notch faster, but I wouldn't recommend any bigger change than that because it might be a little difficult for the viewers to follow. Down here, you have the option to preview your video, but I want to give you a heads up that uses a fair amount of time and it can really slow down your process. Get a bunch done before you go to preview it. It's through previewing that you'll actually get the option to publish it in the end. And finally, up here, you'll see that it says save. Right now it says save because I've done something that has not yet been saved. So when I click on that, once I've saved everything that I've done, it will say saved. So check that before you log out. Some actions will give you the ability, well, it will automatically save at the end of that action, but not all of them. So don't worry, something might save on its own, but not all of it. Finally, as you're completing your work, please use the assignment sheet. You don't want to just have pictures and music that kind of match. You want pictures and music that make your message even stronger. Certain pictures can say a lot, perhaps like close-ups of faces that are showing the emotions you want to convey. A close-up of a face is much more powerful than a picture that's taken at a greater distance. The music can also convey a lot of emotion. It can grip the viewer. It can make them feel what you want them to feel and therefore make a far more powerful movie. So think creatively about how those things can really make your movie stronger.